Hello, you're in time for the Handshake here on New Vision TV with me, Lynn Komjisha. I am joined by Paul Busharizi. Paul, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So, the budget readings, understandings, if I can borrow that word, are going on. Parliament apparently has been on recess for about 3 weeks and is back now. Today, yes, to more importantly look at the supplementary loan proposals that were forwarded. This is about over $100 million to of course, they allegedly take care of certain plans in the city and of course the country at large. The shadow minister thinks that these accumulated loans are a sign the economy is not doing well, and so he suggests that the country needs an economic stabilization board. Is that making sense to you?
Well, first of all, maybe I'll give the shadow minister the benefit of doubt. Loans are not necessarily an indication of economic stress. It's just, I'll give him the benefit of doubt and think maybe it was misquoted or something. Because I mean, you can't say that loudly in public. But the interesting thing of that is that you talk about supplementary budgets. Supplementary budgets are essentially that you've budgeted for the year and needs have a reason that you never budgeted for. Either you didn't foresee them or, the emergencies and stuff. So that's what supplementary budget is. So it just probably suggests things have a reason that the government needs money to fix.
But these are things really they could do away with. Like, for example, they're planning a sanitation program, phase something of Kampala. I thought supplementary budgets would be looking at, say, teachers' salaries, things like that.
If the, I mean, you're going to end up also giving the government the benefit of doubt. But if supplementary budget is what you've just said, that you had things you did not foresee, then you need to go and ask for money. You have to pay for them. You kind of have no choice. So if you tell me sanitation project for Kampala, and it is even phase 3 or phase 4, which means you had foreseen that it was coming, how can it be a supplementary budget? Transmission lines to Masaka Mbarara. I mean, guys, sometimes it's a bit. I think maybe even our journalists need to interrogate these officials a bit more. Is this a supplementary? Is this an emergency that was unforeseen? As you said, the doctors went on strike. I think this financial year after the budget had been read. So essentially, they were not in this year's budget,
and they were told there's no money.
And they were, okay, let's assume they were told, okay, we'll do something for you. That's when you go for a supplementary budget. So you go to Parliament, you say, excuse me, we are not planned for this thing, but we need to pay these guys. That's a supplementary budget. But things, phase 1, phase 2,
let me ask,
pressing it a bit
what
much.
effects arise from such incidences?
No, I mean, it's normal, even in your own life. It's a normal thing. You budget, you have your salary, you budget for this, then God forbid, somebody dies, somebody falls sick, you need additional money, you borrow. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're in bad shape, because the fact that people can lend to you suggests that they know you'll get paid back. That means you're okay. No one's going to lend to you if they know they're not going to get the money back. So it just suggests, I mean, these are borrowings, and thankfully they're for the right things, infrastructure projects and things like that. But on the other hand, we don't want to assume too much. But if you think about it, a clever way of masking your inability to plan would be to say, to bring critical projects, push them out so that people say, no, we just have to do this.
Would you think these are critical projects?
No, absolutely, they are. They are critical projects in supporting the economy going forward. I mean, sanitation in Kampala, the city has been growing. We need to improve the sewage system. That one is acceptable. Transmission line between Barara and Masaka, they probably need more capacity with all the dams that are coming on. That one is acceptable.
The Ginger
maybe bridge, I think it was a bridge. Those are. And maybe, you know, not to be too cynical, maybe the officials masking their own inability to plan have hidden the supplementaries in these which are not were actually planned for, but there were other things. So you bring a case that is easy to sell.
I really hope they did that.
Yeah, it wouldn't be bad if they did that. You'd say, oh, well, they're just being sneaky, but at least they're not being incompetent.
But oh well, I don't know. There's a lot of borrowing going on, and I think that's why the shadow minister was worried.
Borrowing is not the problem.
It is okay.
Borrowing is not the problem. The problem is what you use the money for. Because if for example we borrowed money to buy, let's just say, you know, Mercedes Benzes for all the MPs, that would be a waste of money. But if you're borrowing to do, as you said, transmission lines and sanitation, that's useful. Yeah, it's useful. It'll outlive the current parliament. It'll be useful to the economy going forward. But of course, Mercedes Benz for MPs is a waste of money.
All right. Well, Paul thinks they need. Well, I hope, but Parliament is going to actually agree to these supplementary loans. I don't think they have.
Well, they're hard to refuse those ones.
Yeah, there is. Whatever. Anyway, I don't want to get deep into that. But so there are those loans coming up, and hopefully they can help us or help the economy. And that shadow minister saying we need an economic stabilization. That's huge, man. But thank you so much, Paul.
You're welcome.